Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McKinney, Texas, and this is card one of our August online class. We will be using products that are in the online store and some things that are actually in the annual catalog. We will be concentrating on the Charming Day paper and also the stamps and dies. We're using this stamp. We will also be using this particular die right here. You can get this as a bundle, 10% off, or you can buy them separately. We will also be using You Are Remarkable, and we're going to use this stamp here that says sometimes the simplest things mean the most. And here is a pretty card we're going to make. I'm excited for this card. We're going to do some fun things here. This card is like a Z-fold card in a way, but it will stand up. But this piece here teeters. And so we have designer series paper on the inside and the outs. When you open it up, it kind of reads across like this. A lot of fun. So of course you get an envelope. You are going to get a die cut that is in basic white, and this is the flower itself, and we're going to color this by using blending brushes. Let's go with our card base. This card base is cut at 11 by 4 1/4. It is scored at 5 1/2, and again at 2 1/4. Okay, and we'll be doing something fun to this to make our mechanism so that the card can do this. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We're going to have a good time today. You should have 3 pieces of designer series paper. One piece is going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it's going to end up giving you this small border around a 1/16 of an inch approximately all the way around. Then you should have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, and that's your designer series paper. Then for your beige, you are going to have a piece that is 3 by 5 1/4. You will also have another piece that is going to be 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. And then you should have a little piece that is 2 1/4 by 1 1/2, and that is where our sentiment will be stamped on. And then you should have 2 extra pieces of the espresso. This piece of espresso is going to be 3 by 4 1/2, and then this one will be 2 3/8 by 1 5/8. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the base of our card, and we will get everything. I'm just going to set everything aside for a moment here, and we are going to bring out our trimmer. Now, if you've been with me before, you know that I do my trimmer upside down, and it is because I like the numbers closer to me, and when I swing the arm out, I want it close to me also. So on your piece, where it's scored at 5 1/2, we're not going to worry about that, but we are going to cut up to that 2 1/4, 5/8 of an inch in. So I'm going to open up my trimmer, and I'm just going to make sure my trimmer is where you can see it. Yep, you can see that. Okay, I just had to check the camera there. So I'm going to go 5/8 in, and that is going to be 2 lines after the half if you're not good with measurements. And we are going to take this right up to 2 1/4. And we're just going to cut straight up to the 2 1/4, which is on the side here, but you can also see it here. Okay, and I'm going to just slide this way, and this time I'm going to use the 5/8 inch on this side. And again, this is the half. I'm going to go 2 more till I get to that 5/8, and I'm just going to score up to that 2 1/4 spot. Now I'm going to come in with my trimmer I'm going to flip this, and at the fold there, I'm going to line that up with my channel here, the cutting channel, and I am going to go up 5/8, And it should click when you hit the right spot. And you should be able to pull it out. If not, we can work on that. And then I'm going to make sure this is in the channel again. And oops, I got to get my blade up towards the top. My blade up towards the top, and I'm going to come in 5/8. Okay, I went a little bit past, but that's okay. And you can see that they're cut. Okay, they could have been cut just a little bit better, but we'll bring in our snips here, and we'll just make sure sometimes the trimmer, if it's really humid out, will be a little bit fuzzy. It leaves little fuzzes on things. So we're just going to cut that off. And I want to make sure the whole score line is cut off. So I'm just going to come up here with my snips and take that little bit off. I want a nice crisp edge there. Is basically what I'm going for. Just a nice crisp edge in that one little spot. It's good that you see that I get the little things. See, I've got a nice clean edge here. And I'm just going to make sure that this is also clean. So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to go right up to the cutting edge. And this has just got a smidge, just a squelch or a little bit. I'm just ever so slightly taking off a little bit to have a nice clean edge. Okay, these pieces are trash, so you can just put them in your recycling. If you feel you're going to use them for, oh, sorry about that, I hit the camera. Whew. Now you had a dizzy moment. Sorry about it. But if you feel you're going to use these for a sentiment, you're more than welcome to save them. I just put them in the recycle bin at this point. So now you've got a card piece that looks like this, and you've got a score line here. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to use my bone folder. I'm going to score it one way. I'm going to score it another way. This is her actual hinge. Isn't that nice? No fancy cuts. It's just two little quick cuts, and you've got that. So before we go any further, we are going to put together our card parts here. So I'm going to bring out my designer series paper first. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that the direction of the flowers are all going the same way when I adhere this down. This is a directional paper, so I want to make sure I've got it all. I don't want some of it like this so that the vines are going down, or, I want them the same, or I don't want one like this. I want them all in the same direction. I think I've belabored that long enough. In this case, because this is really close to the measurement of the base, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue because it'll give me some wiggle room to put this in. And the trick to getting things lined up is hold it at one corner, right there, go diagonally to the next corner, and zhuzh it around till you see it where you want it to be. You haven't adhered all the glue, just the edges there, and when it looks pretty good, then go ahead and commit to it. This is wanting to be a little bit off there. Okay, that's pretty good. We're just going to go with that. Now, because I used glue, I'm going to take a bone folder in here and I'm going to flatten that out really, really well. Okay, and you're going to have the same issue. This one's going to go here. So we'll do that real quick. Again, you want to just have enough glue on there. If you go fast enough with the green glue, you do not need a special applicator for it. You can be using any glue that you like. I know if you have hand problems, some people use the glue thing from Petunia Pop. That really helps their hands, especially if you have arthritis. I'm not there yet, so I'm just going to stick with putting my glue on the way I do it. So again, like I said, I just come in here and squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. And we're going to put this one down, making sure I've got my directions all in the correct spot. Again, that diagonal thing till I think I've got it where It looks like it's pretty even all the way around. And now I'm going to put that down. And I'm just going to take my bone folder. By doing it on the front, I fixed the one on the back too. So this is just going to stay for now. And we're going to go do some other fun things. So I'm going to bring out my my wonderful little flower here. And I used pecan pie and berry burst on this. And I just put a little bit on. I'm going to take some on my, if you have a sponge dauber, you can use that. You can actually color it with markers if you like. Always start off, and I'm just going to come in from the top because I want it to have color on top. And then the rest of this, I'm just going to make brown. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up another brush real quick. I am going to shut that other ink before I wear it because I am notorious for wearing my ink. And I'm good at getting it off, but you know, there's no sense in getting it off if you don't need to, if you can keep from getting it on. Okay, and I'm just using the pecan brown because it's a little bit warmer than the espresso. And if I don't like it, I'll go grab the espresso for it. But I think this one's fine. And I'm just giving it color, not dark color. I just want some color. And I'm going to get some up into that bottom part of my flower. And I'm going to compare it because I think I put down pecan brown, but I believe I used espresso before. So I'm going to just take that off of the instructions. And we're going to go to espresso. Now, because I used a brown, I'm just going to use the same brush, but I'm brushing it really well here. Let me grab the espresso here. And we're going to get a totally different look because I went and, you know, did some of this first. So I also have ink on my fingernails, so it's going to be on everything. So I'm going to make sure that's off. Okay, where did it go? Here we go. We're going to come in here with some espresso now. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. It's going to have a little bit of a warmer tone because I put the other on there first, but it's going to be okay. You really can't go wrong. I'm not putting it on too heavy. So there, I think I like that better. Okay, so this is done and ready for to go on our thing. Let's close this for right now. Well, actually, we could do some stamping. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to grab my envelope and I'm going to grab a blender pen. Like I said, we're using a lot of things on this card. So I'm sorry, but I wanted it, when I made it, I just was having too much fun. And so it's like, oh, let's use this tool. Oh, let's use this tool. So all I'm doing is stamping some leaves on here in the espresso brown. And I'm going to pull out my blender pen and I'm just going to blend with this. It colors the leaves a little bit. And it, to me, just adds a little something, something to it. It's not you don't have to do this. I just don't like naked envelopes. And I think this is just kind of fun. It looks like I did a lot of work and it was super simple. That's the point of it. And then to clean this, all I have to do is put it on something else and take the blender pen until it comes out clear. And while that's still dark, it's clean for the next ink I use it on. So there's that. So we've done our envelope. Let's do our sentiment while we're out here. We'll open up the Berry Burst and we'll do that. And again, this is our sentiment. It says sometimes the simplest things mean the most. And I'm just going to center that using Berry Burst. And I'm going to try to do it straight while I'm not with my head over it. And we press straight down, lift up, and that's pretty good. Now remember earlier when I said that sometimes when the humidity is high, the paper, when I cut it in the trimmer, it likes to get these little edges, and it'll show up right here. You can see it really well there. I just come in with my scissors and trim it off. The other thing you can do is use a nail file or something and go along it with that. But other thing you can do is there's this little rubber eraser, and you can go along the side with this, and it pulls off those little things. So this is just another way to use this tool um, to get rid of those little fuzzies that sometimes are on there. So we're going to put this onto here. Okay, we'll glue that together real quick. This card goes pretty fast here in a moment once we get some little things together. But I have one more fun thing we're going to do before we finish putting everything together and have a finished card. See, I've got the fuzzies there. I can come along with this. It pulls them right off. And it doesn't hurt your card at all. And again, these are all just with like about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a little bit more, scotch more. It's just a little frame. So that's going to go over here for right now. And I'm going to bring in, you have two more pieces of basic beige. I'm going to bring in this piece, but I'm going to show you something we're going to do to it that is so much fun. I'm excited for this. So we have these rub-ons at Stampin' Up! And you know, usually I go, ugh, not rub-ons. They are such a pain to do. But these are so cool. So I'm going to use this one. That's what I used on my original card. And all you have to do, so you can see the little bit of gold in here. Well, I'm just going to cut this off and cut it out. Now this pair of scissors is a pair of scissors I use for a lot of different things. So sometimes I don't use my snips for that. I use a different scissor. Okay, so this flower is going to go on this side, and I want the flower to be on top of this beautiful thing. So I'm going to peel this apart, and this part is waste, and you know you have the right part because it's silver on the back side. And I'm just going to lay this on here, hold it steady, and with my finger, just my finger heat, I am going to go over this, holding it steady, just using my fingers. And so if you have cold hands, I am going to suggest that you warm them up. And this is a great summer thing because right now it's warm out. Now, what's fun with this is I'm just rubbing, I'm not rubbing real hard, and I'm not using my fingernails. I'm using the pads of my fingers to do this because I want the warmth of my finger, my body heat to do this. Now let's see if the magic worked for me. It should have worked. Oh, looks like it didn't. I need to be a little bit warmer. Just go a little bit warmer. Okay, we'll do it now. Let's go for it. And if you didn't like it, if it didn't all adhere, set it right back down. Just rub over it. It should come up and be there. But no worries. I think these are fun. I mean, they're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And like, I'm missing a little bit in the middle, but here's the beauty of it. This is going to go on top of it anyways. So you will not know that I'm missing a little bit of it. It's just going to be there. So let's bring in some glue and let's adhere our flower down on that part. Oh, yes. A dramatic pause in the talking. So I'm going to put this right here and just pat that down. Isn't that pretty? And it really wasn't hard. Okay, and now I'm going to take my sentiment that we already have made and I've strategically placed somewhere else. I'm going to put a few dimensionals on here, and I just have to remember where did I put those dimensionals because they're close by. And when you can't find them, you just open up a new package because I have them like literally sitting in front of my eyeballs and I can't see them. Oh well. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on. This is the only thing that has a dimensional on it at all, so it makes it pretty simple. And I did that on purpose because there's a lot of layers in this card. So you want to just, you know, you don't want it to be too thick, put it that way. So you can use your fingers. If you have fingernails, then you can pull those off. Or you can come in with your, take your pick tool and just poke and lift, poke and lift, poke and lift. Keeps them all in one spot. Pop them off into the dustbin and you're good. Okay, and I'm just going to center this as best I can right here. Does that look pretty center? Looks pretty straight. It's a little bit low. It'll be okay. We're going to go for it. Now this piece is going to get adhered onto here. Okay, again, we've got a little bit of the fuzzies there, so I'm just going to come through with this. Sometimes it's just how the paper cuts, and I had brand new blades, but when I use the trimmer, sometimes this happens to me. And again, it's because the humidity is high right now. So we're going to glue this, and yes, you can use a tape runner if you're very good at putting things down with the tape runner. I am really bad with it. I can't get it straight all the time, and it's not as forgiving as glue. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Again, I'm going to have that little bit of a border all the way around, keeping it as equal as I can. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to attach this to our card. And this is going to get attached so it fits exactly on this piece right here. So I'm going to come in with my glue, and I am going to put glue right here. Putting glue right where that is. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to just slide it till it exactly matches. It needs to exactly match the swing piece underneath. Okay, so there you have it. So now we've kind of got our card together, right? Very simple. Now we need to put this piece in. And to put this piece in, it's always easiest to just line it up with the front, put your adhesive on the back, and it can slide in just a little bit. Okay, and here I'm going to actually use tape runner because it's fine to do. Well, I'll just let me put the adhesive on here first. And I've had that happen before on this one. I think that's why I use glue on it more times than not. Okay, so I'm going to line it up at the front, keeping it perfectly equal, maybe in just a little bit. I am going to take this, I'm going to fold it over, press down, and now it's completely hidden beneath, perfectly placed, and you have your first card completely done with your envelope. This is the one we just did. Here's the one I did before. And let's see, where did, oh, my envelope somewhere for that one. Well, the envelope looks the same wherever I put it. It looks the same. But isn't that a fun little thing? I love these rub-ons because the other ones you always have to scrape with like either a bone folder or popsicle stick or something like that. This one is your fingers and I love it. So I hope you enjoyed our first card, and stay tuned because cards 2 and 3 will be coming up shortly. Thank you for joining me. Please like and share my video if you liked it. Please ask your friends to join my channel. That would be lovely. And if you hit that subscriber button, you are notified when I put up a new video, so you'll never miss the fun creative things we do. So have a great day and God bless. Bye-bye.